Hi VC, it's Rob here with another video, and this video I wanted to show 10 records that are about famous people. So famous, maybe politicians, actors, other singers. I want to show them all on vinyl. So we've got 10. Let's get cracking, and the first one I want to show is probably one of the most obvious. It's Nelson Mandela, Free Nelson Mandela by the Special AKA from 1984. So when this record came out, I was just starting to get politically active. Been on a few demonstrations, etc. And you know, I've heard people saying I don't like politics and music to be mixed, but I think this is a perfect example of when politics and music just make a difference. Obviously, before the days of the internet, you were reliant on the news, and I'd never heard anything about Nelson Mandela. Through this record, I discovered that he was in prison in South Africa, and I can remember when he was released, it was very much like when the Berlin Wall came down, you know, and for him to be the first black president of South Africa and to live so many years after he was released was a real blessing. And this record did have something to do. Certainly public awareness was greatly increased after the release of Free Nelson Mandela in 1984. From the same year, 1984, was a single by Madness, Michael Kane. So the story goes that Michael Kane's daughter was a fan of Madness. So he agreed to say some spoken word on this single. And Michael Kane is a sort of, everybody can do an impression of Michael Kane. You know, my name is Michael Kane. Well, maybe not everybody, but most people can. And this single from 84 was nearly a top 10 hit. It was a number 11 hit. But Michael Caine's still alive, 89 years of age, still films coming out. I think my favourite Michael Caine film is The Italian Job. But he's done some good ones. And yeah, good single by Madness, Michael Caine. Sorry about the impression earlier. I'm sure I'll get some stick for that. Now, what about Bananarama and Robert De Niro's Waiting? Again, from 1984. Don't know what it was about 1984, but Bananarama were pretty successful in America as well as in the UK. I'm never sort of stretched to get their albums, but they released some good singles. And Robert De Niro's still knocking about, 79. He's another guy who's done a lot of sort of famous films, Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, The Godfather. But when I think of Robert De Niro, I always think of this song. So yeah, Robert De Niro's Waiting by Bananarama. And from 1986, I'm going to choose Billy Bragg's Levi Stubbs' Tears. So in 1986, I was just getting into Billy Bragg. Bought this single, just got into the top 30, but I didn't know who Levi Stubbs was. It was only after getting this single and then realising that, hey, that looks like the singer from the Four Tops. And yeah, one of my favourite voices when it comes to Motown is Levi Stubbs, and sadly no longer with us, but great voice and a great single by Billy Bragg, Levi Stubbs' Tears. Here's a guy that I had no idea who he was. Whatever happened to Corey Hayne? So what did happen to Corey Hayne, and who is he? So this single came out in 2004. I cut the middle out because I put it on my jukebox back in the day. So Hayne was a child actor, had quite a lot of success, was in the film The Lost Boys, and also a film called Lucas. But he went the way of many sort of child actors, drugs, depression, and ultimately an early death at the age of 38. But I didn't know any of that when I first heard this single by The Thrills from 2004. This B-side is about a pretty famous TV actor from the UK. So I'm sure people in the UK will know that's Tom Baker's Eyes. So this B-side to the single Boys and Girls from 1981. Tom Baker is still alive. He's 88. He's from Liverpool. And he was my favourite Doctor Who. I'm not a massive Doctor Who fan. But when John Pertwee quit as Doctor Who, Tom Baker took his place between 74 and 81. And with that scarf and that voice, he's just my favourite Doctor. So the Human League did a song in 81 called Tom Baker. 4 to go. And another Hollywood actor, one of the most famous of the 50s probably. John Wayne is a Big Leggy by Hazy Fantasy. So what I know about John Wayne, you can write on a pinhead. I just know that he was in a lot of westerns. But great single from 82. John Wayne is a Big Leggy by Hazy Fantasy. And another single which was a #1 in 2007 was Mika and Grace Kelly. So this single, I used to get a lot of sort of chart singles on vinyl because when I was DJing, I wanted as much chart music as possible. So I picked this up. So Grace Kelly was killed in a car crash in 1982. I think she was the Princess of Monaco. Similar kind of death in a way to Princess Diana 15 years later. But Grace Kelly was a big movie star in the 50s in America. And one of my favourite films is Rear Window, the Hitchcock film, which stars with James Stewart. But yeah, Grace Kelly by Mika. 2 to go, and an album track from this album from 1987, Raintown by Deacon Blue from Glasgow. And when I was thinking of trying to get this video together, the song He Looks Like Spencer Tracy was one of the first ones that I thought of. And this is one of my favourite albums from 1987. Went to see Deacon Blue many times in Glasgow. Yeah, just a great track from a really good album. And Spencer Tracy, another guy who was in one of my favourite films. It's a Mad World from, I think it was 1963, one of his last films. And finally, a song that I'm sure nobody's heard of from 1998. It's the B-side of this 12-inch single, and it's called Tiger Woods' Astronaut. So some of the golf that Tiger Woods was playing in his career certainly been out of this world. So maybe that's what Clint Boone was thinking about with this instrumental track from this 12-inch single. Clint Boone, the keyboard player and one of the original members of the Inspiral Carpets. So 10 songs about famous people. Can you do a response? There are other actors, singers, politicians, etc. that you could use. Put the challenge out there. If you've got any comments about what I showed, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.